dangerous.
Bad feeling about this.
You don't seem to understand something.
The thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see that I'm about to impact the world.
That's a for sure. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Humble Dad back with another edition of Humble Dad Podcast. Got a great show for you this evening. Why do I know? Because I said so. And we typically do. This is going to be really good. This is a spinoff from episode 190. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go check that out. We're going to be talking about infidelity types. Sir Hale said something last week that sparked my interest. And I said, you know what? Let's talk about it. Are there different ways of infidelity that people don't necessarily talk about or think about or even consider as a reason for a leaving, I would say? Or do people leave because of these particular types of infidelities? And so we're going to do that. We're going to get to that. And we're going to talk about also some resolutions on that as well. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Side note, you know what I'm saying? If y'all don't know, I'm a teacher, right? And my students have been subscribing to my channel, and they may tune in tonight. I hope they don't. But, you know, they've been going around the whole school talking about and calling me Humble Dad in the school. So shout out to Dr. Glenn's students that be giving me problems on a regular basis. Okay. I hope your parents put you to bed early tonight. All right. But we're going to get this show started. And our question is, what's your favorite comfort media? What is your favorite comfort media? And we're going to start the show with none other than, she been gone for a minute. I think she been trying to get her hair done or somebody else hair done. Miss Jamie in the building.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How's it going, man?
I'm good. I'm glad to be back. You know what I'm saying? I've been gone for a while. But you know, my internet was acting up, so hopefully it doesn't do that tonight.
Hopefully.
And so my favorite comfort media is blogging. I like to write. I'm a writer. I love writing. So blogging, I would say.
That's what's
writing.
up.
I think
That's
I got
up.
bars, really. So like
you think you can rap?
Like I mean I like poetically bars.
Oh, poetic? Yeah, that counts. That's where it started for me, writing poetry, and then it transitioned to writing music. Yeah, I got bars too.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you for being here. And then we're going to welcome the other lady of the house, if you will. You know what I'm saying? She hood rich, countrified, and shoot you straight. You know what I'm saying? None other than Miss Ash in the building.
Why I gotta be hood? I'm not hood. Country, yes, but I'm not hood.
Why would you say you're not hood?
God, I wasn't raised in the hood. I was raised in the country. I don't know.
You don't have to be raised in the hood to be hood, man.
But how was I hood? I mean, the lingo, yeah, but
okay, thank you.
You know what? I'm trying to be relatable. I'm trying to help you out. You know what? I knew I should have taken my butt to bed. I ain't got to put up with this bullying.
You don't.
Internet.
But I appreciate you rocking with us, though. What's your favorite comfort media?
I don't have one, cause I do dabble with it all. Like sometimes, like when I'm walking outside, I'll write, which I haven't done in a couple of months. I need to get back on it, or I'll blog and speak about what I feel at that moment. Like I had something came over me last night. I was like, you know what? Some of these friendships that end silently has something snakely going on before? And I had posted that. Whatever, we're not gonna get into that. But yeah, like I'll do that. It's just like sometimes it's like a thought that maybe I need to think about a little longer. I'll record it and then I'll drive and think about it. But my most comfort, I really would say driving, because driving has always been a comfort for me. I don't know why.
Interesting. Hence the term for you to be a bus driver. That's what's up. Appreciate you for being here. We finna rock out for sure. You know? And we're gonna welcome to the stage none other than Hulk Hogan, the black version, Incredible Hulk. They lost last night. I appreciate that. Prototyping.
Did that come through?
Yeah, but it definitely sounded like some turds like sprinkling in the water.
Hey.
Am I wrong, lady?
What? I'm from media, man. I don't know. I guess
You got TikTok, you got Facebook, you got, if you want your Walkman. I don't know if you still got those.
I would say all of it. TV. Yes, TikTok. TikTok, ever since we've been on TikTok, I've been in TikTok. So, TikTok is definitely a new one.
Yeah, they loving y'all on TikTok for sure.
Yeah, they loving us over there. I don't know what that is, but IG, Facebook. I mean, it's in transitions, right?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
wherever we're connecting with the people, make me feel like I'm outside when I'm in the house.
That's what's up. I'm waiting for you to do the like I said, the when you go onto the
Yeah, I'm gonna hit it again. True. I was just getting with my camera guy, man. We gonna get there.
That's a bet. Appreciate you for being here.
Yep.
Hey, we're gonna rock out with none other than he didn't switch clothes on us. You dig? You know what I'm saying? He calmed down for us today. None other than Mr. Steph. See, I had to make sure I had the pronunciation correct for Prototype. You know what I'm saying? Because he was talking about Sir Hal. Yeah, that's a movie, bro.
Is it how? It's hell. Is it how or hell?
Hell.
Hell. Sir, hell.
What's up, Sir Hal? What you got? Did you get the question?
Yes. So I'm a little bit different. I actually don't like none of this technology stuff. I don't like it. If I'm gonna do anything comforting, take all the devices away. I'm gonna go by the lake, go buy some water and relax and get a pen and some paper and actually do some writing and some thinking and things like that. So I don't really have comfort media. I find it stressful. So yeah. I'm the old school millennial.
That's what's up. Appreciate you for being here. Hey, we gonna welcome none other than Mr. Lost in Translation.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Uncle Dad?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. I forgot Prototype was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Yeah. We had text back and forth before the game started, bro. We both talking about our team's gonna lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan, so
the most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi.
That's right. Listen, my favorite media suspense movies, man, because I have to go back and I have to watch it twice, you know what I'm saying, to make sure I didn't miss nothing. So I actually enjoy watching suspense movies, man, because it makes you think. Because the first time you watch it, you're just watching it for, just for entertainment purposes. But the second time you go through, it's like, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
I usually have to watch it about 2-3 times to make sure I didn't skip nothing. So I like suspense movies, man.
What's the most recent one you say you like?
Yeah, I watched this Mel Gibson movie that's on Netflix, man. It was pretty dope. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay.
But I kind of knew something was off, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, man, but it was worth the watch, man. It was worth. I had to go back and watch it twice.
What's the name of it?
I forgot the name of it, but it's.
Don't worry about it. If you find it, let me know. Put it in the back chat for sure.
I will.
Appreciate you for being here. Hey, and everybody's surprised that this dude is on time. Y'all know who it is. Mute Jones in the building. Yeah. What's up, my guy?
Baby, you on mute and you still talking.
Damn. Who on the soundboard tonight? Who is on the soundboard tonight?
Your consistency is incredible.
You like that?
Yeah,
I swear I pushed the button, but I ain't even gonna get into that.
I bet.
Let's get to the question. What is my favorite comfort media?
Yeah.
Video games. Video games. Yeah.
What, Legend of Zelda? You look like a Legend of Zelda kind of guy.
You know what? I appreciate that. No. FIFA or FC. A little soccer.
Listen, FIFA is hard, bro. That's probably one of the hardest sports games I've played for sure.
I enjoy it.
That's what's up. You play online with others or just by yourself?
Oh, no. See, the way my bank account's set up, I usually am about 3-4 years behind.
So you be getting the used versions?
No. I'm kidding, but no, I used to be into real big, but now I'm real complacent in what I got. So I used to play. Let's say it was like 2K22, right? They got 25 now. They don't have to shut my online account down. They were like, you got to go out and buy a new one.
That's so sad.
And I'm like, no, you ain't gonna force me to do that. I'm gonna hold out.
Don't do it. Don't do it. The new stuff will piss you off. You gotta wait for it to download, and then when it's downloaded, you gotta wait for it to update. Don't do it. I've been suckered. I'm upset. That's why I don't even bother turning my PlayStation on because of the updates for the bugs.
Yes, yeah, and I'll also say, truth be told, I wait until that whole Black Friday shenanigans, and I'll catch them at a discount. Just saying.
That makes sense. That's what's up. For me, my media of choice that I don't get to do enough of is reading. I like to read. There was one book that I read for the first time a while ago. It was about Dietrich Bonhoeffer. It was a 500-page book. And Dietrich Bonhoeffer is, he was several things. He was a spy. He was a preacher. He tried to help assassinate Hitler back in the day and rescue Jews. And so Eric Metaxas is one that wrote that book. I felt like I was there. That's how good that he wrote this particular book. And so all books on business or real estate, I'm thinking about writing my own book. My wife said I should. We'll see. But I already wrote a dissertation, and that was a lot of work. So I don't know if I want to do that again or not. So, hey, but welcome to the Humble Dad podcast. We're gonna be talking about infidelity types and giving some resolutions as well. But we're gonna start off with a video. We're also going to do a would you rather, and then we'll also have the questions that we'll focus on. And don't forget to go check out all of these individuals on their platforms. Dwayne Jones don't have one other than his photography, but hey, he's a dope photographer. Here we go.
You wonder why people end up having affairs. How can a person stay in a relationship where most days their character is being assaulted? Who wants to stay in that? I talk a lot about infidelity because I deal with it a lot in real life, in real counseling sessions. And you're wondering why she fell into the arms of another man. Well, look at how that man treated her. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying why it happens. Look at how kind he was, how gentle he was, how soft he was. She couldn't take the contempt. She could no longer take the abuse. And she found safety in another dude. And the same thing can happen to a man. He can find safety in another person.
Okay. So the question really is, what's your thoughts on what he said? You can be as elaborate as you would like, but I'm interested in hearing what's your thoughts on what the gentleman said. We're going to start with the one that even brought this to our discussion table, Sir Hale.
Okay, so this show's about to take a turn early. So what he was saying is good reasons. It was a legitimate reason. But why not marry them then? Why is it when we cheat, why don't we just go on and start a relationship with them and get married and then just work it out? Like, why the second time married is after divorce? Why is the divorce rate higher? I think that we romanticize the idea of cheating and we give some really good philosophical reasons for why we did it. But one thing I never really hear people do is why not just leave? Like, why entangle yourself and make matters worse if it's gotten to the point where it's so bad? Why not completely remove yourself from the situation and now you're free? Why do we got to pull somebody else into the situation and mix things up, make matters worse just because we're going through something? I'm gonna tell you something. You're not struggling so bad when you go down and you drop in your pants for somebody else. Stuff ain't got that bad. If that's something you're doing, that's been in you, and you just needed an opportunity or an excuse to do what was already in you. I'm not saying that there aren't any factors, but nobody can make anybody go cheat. That's my thought on that. And we'll go with let's go with Ash.
Why you being a bully? I need to think time. But anyway, if you want to jump this off, we're gonna jump it off. What he's saying is valid, but at the same time, you want to cheat, you're gonna cheat. You're gonna find a way. I feel like some people like that excitement because they're bored. Some people like living them double lives. They like to have the, what we talking about, the chips and salsa, the mashed potatoes and stuff. They like to have a full course meal because the home life ain't really exciting no more. It ain't being pleasure. And I'm gonna go to Dwayne because he looks like he got a mouthful over there that's ready to be spilled out.
Oh, that's good. Man, I just know, well, I think, but I highly anticipate there ain't no safety in hell. Okay? There ain't no home base in hell. Oh man, if you're wrong, you're wrong. So just like Sir Hill said, the, why don't you just leave? Or hey, why even get married in the first place if that's your intentions? So I get it, but you got to stay blemish free, and if not, you're gonna be in trouble. Jamie, what you got?
Sadly enough, my internet is not my friend, so I didn't see the video. I don't even know what that man said. But I do know what Sir Hale said and what Dwayne said and what Ash said. And so I would say I'll agree with Sir Hale. If you are not happy, just leave. I think it's an excuse, or there is a thrill. There's a thrill in lying, right? And so people enjoy the lie and enjoy what are you talking about? I didn't do that. And the get away with it, right? Because even when we're younger, if we look at it when we're kids and we do something and we lie to our parents and we get away with it, we do get a little high. We're like, ooh, that worked. Because it's either I get caught and get a whooping, or I like get away with this and I find out how to do it better the next time. So it even happens with adults. So it is a character flaw and it's a choice to cheat, period. Because it's a choice to stay and say that you're miserable, or you could just leave. You have the right as an adult to say, I don't want to be here anymore. And that's it. Just, I don't want to be here no more. I like what's over there, and that's what I want. But people don't, they want all of it. They're greedy and selfish. So that's my answer. Greedy, but are there good reasons for being greedy and selfish? Would be the ideal reason. That's a true reason for cheating or infidelity. Let's go with loss, because I know he's gonna be like, he's gonna say something. Yep, go ahead.
Based on the video, he was making it seem like um, one person had control over the other person's faithfulness, which I really don't believe. Here's my thing: if you water your own garden and you tend to your own garden, then you won't have enough time to go out and busy and mess around in somebody else's garden. You know, and one of the things I've noticed is that people like to say, well, this person was nicer and this other person, well, you can make your own yard nice, if you talk to each other. I don't believe that people should cheat. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things, man, where people's like, well, if you're gonna cheat, you might as well break up or leave or whatever. Well, you probably should have answered that question before you got married. You know, you got to know your why. Why do you want to be married? Why is that important to you? You know, and if you can't answer that beforehand, I don't suggest you get into the institution of marriage, because it's one of those things that should be taken seriously. You know, when you said you wanted to forsake all others, that's in the vows, man. That means no cheating. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. You're introducing outside influences into your marriage, and sometimes you can inadvertently bring in another child, or inadvertently bring in a disease, inadvertently bring in financial burdens, all type of weird stuff. So it's just best that you go ahead and tend to your own garden. But as far as somebody else being extra, anybody can be nice to you, but it has to be in you to want to accept that. I've seen several times where women always say, guys walk up to them, "Are you married?" And then she'll say, "Yeah," and then they'll follow it up with, "Are you happily married?" And she said, "It don't matter whether I'm happily married or not. There's some days gonna be good, some days gonna be bad, but I'm still married." And sometimes you gotta let people know their boundaries, and it's up to you to guard your marriage's fence. Whether it be on this side or the other side. Sometimes people don't have to respect your marriage, but you do. Prototype, it's on you, brother.
In regards to to the video, women don't never cheat with the nice guy. They're cheating on the nice guy. They're going to get smutted by the other guy. They're going to go cheat with the guy that she wish she was with, as far as status wise. That she never cheating on the guy that's treating her right. She's cheating on the guy that's treating her right, but she's not treating with the guy that's treating her right. But I guess in her head, the guy that's treating her right is the one that got it. Maybe, you know what I'm saying. But even still, though, it's really just a status thing. She cheats on you for a guy with more status, or a little bit more pizzazz, or a little bit more gangster. She wants to get smutted out, and you're not smutting her enough. That's why she's cheating on you. Um, Other than that, I'm just speaking to what the video says. As far as cheating and leaving, and if you're just gonna cheat, you might as well leave. I'd say it's complicated. Everybody got their own little reasons on why they might go or stay. Some people just probably like variety, and they enjoy chicken breast, but want a T-bone every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why they do it. Or, who knows? But as far as a woman cheating, though, you're not smutting her out enough, and she thinks she can get smutted somewhere else. But go ahead with the next question.
Well, first of all, it's challenging to go to the next question when you bringing up a new vocabulary word, right? So, so basically, what you're saying is that what I heard from everybody is that cheating is the part of which doesn't even constitute, like, if you're going to cheat, then you might as well leave. And if you even think about cheating, you should probably revisit your vows, right? And then there is not really a reason for cheating or infidelity, is what I'm hearing. So, but I want to know then, what is the definition? Because everybody talked about from the position, I guess, basically about what the guy said. But I want to go back and I want to describe. It doesn't have to be connected to the video, but I want you to talk to me and give me a definition for infidelity. The reason why is because Sir Hale kind of brought up some things last week that kind of probed me to want to dive deeper into this. So let's talk about it. How would you describe infidelity? We know.
HD.
Yeah. Can y'all not hear me? Yes.
Yeah. If you don't mind, before we move on,
Yeah.
so there are reasons for cheating. There are no good reasons for cheating. I do want to put that out there.
Okay, that's good. I appreciate that. That's why I put that in there. Are there good reasons for infidelity? Anybody can make up reasons.
Yes, there are good reasons for infidelity.
Give me one, Proto.
She not doing what you needed to do, or he not doing what you need him to do. So which I'm supposed to starve because I can't eat at home. I'm gonna go eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask you, hey, I'm hungry. You want something to eat? You don't want nothing? All right, I'll be back. Let me hit a Burger King real quick. I'll be back. Or Papa Do's or whatever you desire. You know what I'm saying?
So that's a reason. What makes it good?
Because I'm hungry.
So the virtue of hunger is what makes it good. No, so no. Good speaks to ethics. So even though there are, give you a case in point. So in a lot of marriages, the rate at which we use technology, people cheat with technology, right? So we don't give our attention to marriages anymore. I can't say because I'm not getting enough attention that now I'm going to go find someone who does give me attention, break my vows, introduce emotional concerns, potentially, spend my time with somebody else, and then attach an ethical reason to something that I know is morally wrong. So it's a justifiable reason that I had a need. But when we attach good to it, it takes it to a whole nother place. And there's simply no good reason to do something bad when it's within your power to either get out the situation or to spend that time making things right.
I would say a good reason is to fulfill a need that you're not getting fulfilled. And if fulfilling that need makes you happy, then hey, that's what makes you happy. Like if you like to work out, that person like to work out, you're gonna not work out when you need to work out. No, you're gonna go work out. And if that person's not interested in the gym or getting in shape, you're gonna let that part of you die. No, that's a part of who you are. That's a part of what makes you driven or whatever, however. So that's a
I'm with
good
you on
reason.
working out, just not the cheating part.
It's the same need. It's the same kind. You're feeling the same kind of desire.
This is why we was transitioning to that part. Like, how would you describe it? Right? How would you describe infidelity? Would be the question. Right? So, Proto, you're saying that it's similar. So, give me your definition of infidelity.
I would say that is a part, right? Whenever you're sharing a part of you with someone else that ain't your. So like if you talking to somebody else on the phone because that conversation is better and you can't have that conversation at home, you know what I mean? That's a part of you that needs to be fulfilled. So I mean that's a part of infidelity. That's emotional cheating, right? So it's the same thing. Oh, it's not the same, but you understand what I'm saying. It's still infidelity.
Okay. So, your definition is doing something when you have a partner and you do it
Outside of that partner.
outside of that partner. All right, got it. Who you got next?
Mute.
Mute.
Appreciate that. I just simply say it's a breach of trust. Infidelity is a breach of trust between two people or even a group of people. I didn't put it like that, but infidelity is a breach of trust.
Okay. Who you got?
Let's go with lost.
Man, I was gonna steal your story, man, from the other day. Yeah, it's a breach of trust. Remember, you was telling us about the time you bought that laptop and you felt bad and you didn't tell your wife. Yeah, that was a breach because you guys hadn't talked about it, and I think that's basically what that is. If you hadn't discussed a particular thing with your mate and you didn't allow them an opportunity to weigh in on your decision, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And also, what you want to do is you also want to make sure that your relationship has the fertile ground to have those difficult conversations. We never really talk about that because sometimes the reason why people do things is because they didn't feel like they could come to that person, or they have a history or track record of brushing you off when you try to address something, or they'll gaslight you or try to make you feel like what you're feeling isn't real. They say, hey, I'm feeling kind of lonely. Do you mind if you hold me? Oh, you're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. And I can see how stuff like that could create an atmosphere of where people couldn't trust you with their heart because you brush them off or you make them seem like what they're feeling is unimportant. So having the ability to have a relationship where anything can be discussed is very important. But in order to do that, you have to have constant maintenance, constant conversations, and creating the fertile ground to which you can actually foster that type of relationship. I'm going to go with Miss Jamie.
She's delayed. Unless she,
Oh,
Jamie,
is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay, because everybody went away, and then I had to wait till y'all came back. So I was like, all I heard was she's delayed. Okay, so I cheated. I went to Google, you guys, and so let me tell you what Google said. You ready?
I'm glad she finishes that statement.
Yeah, no, because I was like,
right.
but actually reading Google, I was like, oh wait, I think we gotta miss. Anyways, it says the action or state of being unfaithful to a spouse or other sexual partner, but the second definition says unbelief in a particular religion. So I was like, well, let me look at the etymology of the word, right? And what it says is the unbelief or unfaithfulness or disloyalty to a person, place or a thing or a deity, right? So that is what the root of infidelity means. It is not having faith, faithlessness in the person, place, or thing that you have professed some type of love or loyalty to at one point. That's what it says. So that's the definition. I don't have a thought to that to add to that because that's what it said. This, my opinion, don't matter in that sense. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't have no faith in that person anymore. I don't even have faith in myself enough to be loyal to that person anymore. It's like idolatry. Like you decided to serve a different God or to serve a different person. You made that niceness of that other person an idol. And now you're choosing to lose faith in the original foundation and to serve something new because it looks shiny. That's what it's like, a golden calf. That's my answer. That's it. Ash.
I have nothing. Okay, I have nothing. Um, Infidelity, what it is, it's when you cheat. That's what, just like your kids be cheating on your tests. You're cheating. You're going around what you're supposed to do. You're trying to take a shortcut. That's what we're gonna keep it. Who ain't went? Was I the last one? It was me.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna keep it short.
Sahel didn't go, I don't think.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Well,
what, just leave me hanging, guys. It's all good. So in my own words, I think I think everybody said it is beautifully. There's nothing really to be added here. Actually, so yeah, everybody said it. That's my response.
All right, bet. So it's cheating, or it is distrust or mistrust that you have in somebody, that you place in somebody. You have broken, if you, from a biblical perspective, you have broken the covenant even more. I was looking at the word infidelity. She's right, but I went a little bit further, and I went to the Greek, which is in the Greek is mokia. It's classical Athens. Mokia was a broader term that the English word adultery is where we get that from. It referred to the seduction of any free woman who was under the protection of Kyrios, which included sex with a free man's wife, daughter, or sister. In Athenian law, Makia was always committed by a man against a woman, which is interesting. However, married men were not considered to have committed adultery if they had sexual relationships with slaves or prostitutes. That's how far that goes back. That's interesting, right? But that was in a particular time period, right? But what we're looking at as it relates to infidelity to today, that's why I wanted to get your definitions, just kind of like how you thought about it, because I had watched some different videos and it gave different types of infidelity, similar to, the one that Dwayne described last week. And sometimes even in the Bible, it goes even further when it talks about a man that looks at a woman lustfully, he has committed adultery in his heart, right? I don't even think that is talked about enough, because that just tells you how much of a focus on Christ you got to have, because men, we definitely struggle with lust either now or at some point in time. Women maybe, I don't know, because I don't talk to women about that. So that's something that y'all would have to talk about, right? So I want to know, right? I want to know then, what are the different types of infidelity? We're gonna go with what are the different types. It doesn't necessarily, because what we're talking about is distrust, right? We know that the Greek definition was related to sex. However, I want to, for the sake of the conversation, to expand it and tell me, what do you think are some different types of infidelity? After that question, it would be talking about, are all infidelities equal? That would be our follow-up question. All right. We're gonna start with loss. What you got? What is a type? You don't have to don't give me more than one. So you want to save some meat on the bone for the others. What you got?
Financial infidelity.
Break that down.
Basically, that's when you don't consult with your spouse on spending a certain amount of money.
Bet. Who you got after that?
Prototype.
Why are you laughing, bro? Did I? What?
Cause you already know what I said.
Smut. Smut them down.
Yeah, that laptop. My man was in the garage with the light on, like
tanning. I was tanning, man. I was tanning.
You know, I don't know what show I was watching, but a husband was, it was a movie or something. The husband was supposed to be on a diet or something like that, and he was eating Twinkies in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was hiding, like, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you have to hide some ish, like, you know, you wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not just a guilty. You got, if you're hiding Twinkies in the car, I would say that's infidelity. So the gluttony, infidelity, you know what I'm saying? Food infidelity.
Food infidelity. That's good. That's good. Who you got going next?
Laptop infidelity.
Laptop infidelity.
Let's go with Sir Hell. I said it right.
So, Humble Dad. So I like the question. So I don't think that there are. I know that we call them types. I think there's one type of infidelity, many expressions of infidelity. So the one that I think is most evident is the emotional one. I think most of the physical affairs or financial affairs stem from some type of emotion that needs to be addressed in some way. And without that being addressed, we find some way to express it, whether that is in physical or financial or some other way. But I think a big one that I see that I talk about a lot in coaching is that emotional affair. And let's go with Jamie.
So then I'm going to go with physical because you got emotional. And so I'm just going to go with physical infidelity, where you touching, licking, all of that nasty, inappropriate, nasty, little dirty nasties. Did you guys know? Now, before I left the medical industry, I just want to say this. There is a ICD-9 or ICD-10 code for cheating. So if your spouse comes in and wants to get checked for STDs, there is literally an ICD-10 that covers that being checked through the insurance. And I just wanted to say that. I'll never forget. I was like, oh, so we just going to condone all the nastiness. And obviously I had to use it for somebody because he brought in his non-wife and they had to get checked. And yeah. So just, that was back in 2016. So I'm sure there's definitely more codes now. So just wanted y'all to know that.
Is that wrong for not wanting no problem? Like, wanting people to be healthy, but they don't want that drama. They like, look, I don't want the problem. I'll help you out, but I don't want the problem. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that what that is?
I don't think that insurance should pay for it. Like, I don't think if it's like the family insurance, you know what I'm saying? Like, if the man is on the wife's plan or the wife is on the man's plan and she's cheating, I don't think that the insurance should pay for it.
That's wild.
You know what I'm saying?
That is wild. Yeah, you get somebody taken care of on your wife's, on your family insurance plan. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I just got one thing to say though. I just got one thing to say. How you know that person wasn't added? Because some of them people got that money to go ahead and add that person in. So if they added in on the
See, but that's the thing though. If I ain't gonna put it on. If the person was on their duty, they would know. I was watching what's that girl Bryant, the doctor girl or whatever.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Dr. Bryant.
Dr. Bryant, and she just was on a show with the Christian financial dude that be with
Dave Ramsey.
yeah. He
She
just
was
did an
on
interview.
Dave Ramsey show.
No, the black dude that spawned from Dave Ramsey.
Oh, I know you're talking about Anthony O'Neill.
Yeah. And she was talking about how in a healthy relationship, how people were supposed to be on it. Like if somebody's like taking care of you and covering you and really there for you, when that like a caring person to a unhealed person makes an unhealed person throw like insecure, like words like, oh, you're insecure, or you're judgment, or you're overprotective, or you know what I'm saying, when that person is just really just caring for you.
You're
You know what
controlled.
you're controlling. Yeah, you understand, you know what I'm talking about. So he's just like, yeah, you're controlling because you're trying to see what I'm doing today. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's a huge problem is people are trying to love on you as they would know love from a healthy standpoint, but you're making it seem like it's all these negative things and it's turning people away. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, if you was really on it, you don't have room to do anything else because y'all have a routine established. You know what I'm saying? Of love and communication and comfort and making each other feel comfortable in the relationship, right? So if you're on it, then yes, you can catch somebody being added. But if you're just a taker and you're just there just to receive, or you're not really on your stuff, yeah, somebody could be added on you. You know what I'm saying? But if you're really involved in your relationship, if you're a full participant in your relationship, goofy stuff like that can't happen.
That's what's up. Who was next? Ash?
Do I need to pick somebody?
Yeah, I think it was Ash. Was
Dwayne.
Dwayne. Okay.
No, I just cut in. It wasn't me. Dwayne can go ahead and go.
Let's get it.
All right, y'all took everything, so I had to do some soul searching, deep cataloging of what could be possible. And y'all touched on it as from media. Sometimes we, as for a form of infidelity, I'll say social media, right? Putting yourself out there whenever you don't need to be putting yourself out there. Putting your business out on the streets when you shouldn't be on the streets or the internet streets, and I may put it. So that's one of them. And also for those there's a gentleman at work who was baffled whenever I said that his children should not come first in his relationship, and that was interesting. And he came back to me and actually made mention of it, that I was the first person to tell him that his children shouldn't come first. So I also think there's also infidelity whenever you put, like even Jamie, like how you broke down the word from a religious standpoint, right? But whenever it's idolatry, whenever even some people will idolize their children and put their children before their spouse. So that's also a form of infidelity. So I got a 2-for-1 right there.
Okay. Anybody want to respond or say anything on to add on this particular matter before we?
Dwayne greedy.
Dwayne
greedy.
Oh no.
Is that's the form of infidelity that prototype mentioned? Snack.
Oh, that's right. Ash, you ain't go. What you got? What's a type?
Dwayne done took everything. He talking about. I mean, I could have at least ran with the children. He want to overstep his bounds. The next time I try to put you in front of me, it's not happening. See, I tried to show just a little respect
because he wasn't supposed to do too.
I thought you already went. Whenever you skip in line and go to the front in the cafeteria,
I was coming.
You got your tray. You got your tray.
You know what? If you want to fight, we can fight.
Oh,
you
thanks.
know, we can throw Bibles and crosses if you want to. You know,
I won't be in the car eating Twinkies.
We know you're gonna be on the laptop. You know, it don't matter.
That's crazy. That's
Why?
Diabolical.
Man,
That was so long ago.
On the laptop.
wow.
on the left, yeah, man. I hear you loud. That's crazy. Put a backhand right there for sure. Hey, listen,
Humble
man.
Dad, before we go,
Yeah.
we got to bring up flirting. We got to bring up flirting, like with the micro cheating. So flirting and giving little hints and giving signals and stuff. Particularly if you're married. Now, this is going to sound terrible, and I'm actually saddened to say this. I see a lot of more single women with stronger boundaries than a lot of married women. Like, it seems like if a woman has been married long enough and she is unhappy, this is that criteria. It is easier to get her to engage into unscrupulous activities, right? And so flirting, this, the attention she provides, and men do it as well. So I think we got to bring that up as well because it teeters beyond. Is this emotional? Is this physical? We ain't touched yet. So it's like that in between, that micro cheating, that I think we've got to give some credence to as well.
Yeah, I think that almost connects to emotional infidelity, because if it's not cut off, right? Like if it's allowed by either party, then it's going to be a problem, right? So that's, if you've seen the thumbnail, one of the thumbnail pictures shows a guy looking back at a woman while he's with his woman, right? Now, some women are okay with it because both of them will look, right? But she seems to have an issue with it. So that could also be a form of what is it? It could be a form of cheating, depending on what the conversation has been about with the two people that are having a conversation, as it relates to, I don't like you looking at other people, especially when you're with me, because that's a sign of disrespect. And you continue to do it even though I've asked you to stop. Right. So now the boundary has been set. So I can even go to that point. If we have, if it hasn't been constituted in any particular document, but you and I have created a document within ourselves to say, this is the thing that I'm bothered by, and you do it anyway, then that is also another form of infidelity that I would say that needs to be a part of the conversation as well. So if we have made an agreement that you're only going to spend $50 and you don't even have to talk to me, don't go spend $51 and talk about, well, it was only a little bit, right? Because taking it, if I give you an inch and you take a mile, then we're going to have a problem, because at some point, even though it's not $1 today, it may be $100 some other time before, if it's not nipped in the bud. So I think all of those that y'all have said make sense as well. What you got, Lost?
Yeah, I want to touch on what Sir Hale said, man. That sparked something.
Okay.
And the question is the micro aggressions, or the micro flirting. You know what I'm saying? And it's like sometimes you can get somebody who's selfish and they want to talk to somebody who's married. They don't care whether or not, they'll test that other person. They say, well, you look nice today. And the other person hadn't heard that they were nice from their spouse. You see what I'm saying? It's like they're fishing to find out exactly where they can slide on in there. You know what I mean? They just so happen to use compliments as a way to get in there. So I thought about it. I was like, man, it's if it's that easy, y'all need to talk about that thing, man. And and the reason why I think it's easier for married women to go down that slippery slope is because they have a comparison to now versus single women. They say comparison is a thief of joy. Well, single women don't have anybody to compare it to. So therefore, people hit on them all the time. So it doesn't affect them. But at the same time, if you have somebody who's married and say, for instance, the husband or the wife is neglecting them, now they have a point of reference. They have an anchor to compare good behavior versus bad behavior, or flirting or non-flirting, care and non-care. So I can definitely see why it is very, very important why married couples should come together and talk that thing out, because it's so easy to compare what you're doing and what you're not doing versus what somebody else is doing, what they're not doing. Does that make sense?
Commitment is key.
That was a brilliant take.
Thank you, sir.
That was dope, bro.
That's what's up. Hey, did anybody have something to add before I move?
Are you going to ask how do you identify a cheater? Is that going to be a question in this?
I didn't have it up, but I'm okay with that as a question.
I think that's what the girls was waiting for. And I think that's what the show was indicating, that we was going to help people identify cheaters.
You can't. Or when you're lacking. I mean, I ain't never, baby. Some of these people know how to cheat and cheat for years. Don't act like some of these people granddaddies didn't have a family across the street, down and around the corner, and didn't nobody know until the funeral. I mean, there's not a specific way to identify them.
Yes, there is.
What? The man that stay out working late, or the one that's going to work early? What? Well, who is he?
It's the man that think he don't need you, the one that had to cheat on you.
You makes me sick. Black him out. Just mute him.
I can do that. Give me a moment. All right. So we're gonna do this, right? We can come back to that, right? But we're gonna do a would you rather, and then I'm gonna come back. I think did I put it in the back chat? Because I can't remember I pressed in. So we're gonna go with a would you rather, and then we're gonna follow it up with are all infidelities created equal? Okay. So the would you rather is kind of connected to what Jay Zilla said last week. Okay. Does anybody remember what Jay Zilla, his story that he gave? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For those that don't know, Jay Zilla gave a story of his wife creating a safe space for him to come to her and say that he was having some attractions for other women. Okay. And that he would ask the question of would they be okay with having what did he call it?
The open relationship.
Open relationship. Thank you.
Poly.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you very much. So my question is to the panel: would you rather be the safe space or be given the safe space? I'll give you a moment to think about it, and we're gonna go with Jamie.
Would you rather be the safe space where somebody could come say something like that? Or
yes, or would you rather be given
have the ability to do that?
The people, huh? Did I write that wrong? I may have wrote that wrong. Okay.
No. Say it one more time, just because my things are going out. So I'm trying to make sure I answer this right.
Would you rather be the person that is the safe space, or would you rather be the other person be the safe space?
I think this go around in my life, I want the safe space. So no, I want it. I want the safe space. I tried being the safe space. That don't work.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be like all selfish. Just go around. Like I want the safe space. I want to be able to say what I would like and not like. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm sorry, you guys. Okay,
you're not playing.
No, I'm okay with being the safe space. Because I mean, I just want one person. It's too much. Dealing with more than one person is just too much. I don't know how other people do it. Like, I don't got time to figure out anybody but the one person. Like, this is it. It's just too much. Too much. One person is enough. Like, we go through enough emotional problems as one person than to have multiple people and trying to figure out what they want and what they got going on and adding them into the equation. So I could be the safe space, but I don't know, like, you're not going to get the answer you want because it's going to be like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell me that you want somebody else and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, no. And then we could decide we're going to be together or not. But we you know.
It doesn't have to be that particular scenario, though, Jamie.
I'm just helping. I'm just making sure that it's understood. Like, but because I'm so transparent, you gonna know up front anyway. So if you come to me with some craziness, you already know the answer. You just want to get off your chest. That's fine. You want to get off your chest, cool. You want to laugh about it because it's a joke now because you playing in my face, and I'm gonna laugh with you because I think you're funny because we're not doing that. Not here. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Sir Hale, because he looks stressed out.
You don't like my question? You don't like my question?
Now, that was crazy. Jamie is off the chain with that one. So it's a good question. I think that's a good question because you gotta choose whether you're gonna be about you or about them. So I'll say it this way: I would be the safe space because I think you have to be that to get that. At some point, everybody got to be it. It's just what it is. Um, you would have to do a lot of soul searching to make sure that your ego is in check because when you say this is a safe space, you don't get to dictate what's safe. You know what I mean? And so you have to have some trust and you got to be grounded. You have to love them. You got to be forgiving. You got to make sure that you control your attitude. You got to make sure that when you say it's safe, that you don't take what you said was shared in a safe space and then retaliate in through microaggressions and other ways. That takes a lot. But being with somebody for 20 years and married going on 18 years, you have to be a safe space in order to get a safe space. So I would have to go with, I would rather be one.
That's a bet. Who you got?
Let's go with Prototype.
I'd rather have the safe space, not be one. Being a safe space for people get you taken advantage of for real. Having a safe space, um, basically put you in a position where you don't really care. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's one of those things where um it's on you to be a good stewardship of you know a person is giving you safe space, so be proper stewardship of that. But giving people a safe space, uh nah, that's not generally for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll hear you out, but I mean it's cool, but giving safe space generally get you taken advantage of. So I'll say it like that.
So humble day. So is this a general question or the context of a relationship or marriage?
It is. It was mainly for marriage and relationships. Is
Okay.
really what we're centering it around.
Because
But
if that's the case, I'm with Prototype. I don't generally want to be a safe space, generally, but in a relationship, I definitely want to be that.
yeah, okay. Who you got?
Um
Oh, well, you finished. I'm sorry.
no, I mean I kind of agree with, in a relationship. I was speaking generally.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um in a relationship, I would love for us both to be a safe space.
It can't
But
be that. We choose
so
this one.
yeah, so I'm gonna go back to, I'd rather somebody give me the safe space and I be managing the stewardship of them giving me the safe space to not make sure I don't hurt them in the process. I'd rather that than opposed to being a safe space and then them telling me something that, oh yeah, I got 100 bodies. Oh, God, you don't know, we just broke up. You know what I'm saying? So
You don't know we just broke up. That's what's up. So then your answer didn't really change.
no,
Okay, got
no,
it. So it wouldn't matter if it was a relationship or if it was
nope.
okay, got it. Who you got next?
The mute go.
The mute guy. He just want to say mute. He going
Ah, man. Would you rather 2.0? Would you rather be cheated on or be the cheater? Anyways, that's a difficult question, man. Golly. Because yeah, I'm as the question progressed and I'm listening to other people's answer, I'm like, taking advantage of, that's rough. But how much rougher is it to be the one that's being doing the taking advantage of, right? Like you the one, man. So I'm gonna go ahead, since this is Would You Rather on HD podcast. I'm gonna say I'd rather take the defensive role rather than the offensive. So I'll be the safe space. I won't be the aggressor.
why?
I might enjoy it. Let me get I'm just being honest. Oh, I ain't even thought about that. Okay. But then if I don't, I'm like, hey, okay. Boy, I'd be, see, that's sinister. because I get to scheming. Okay. Now y'all know.
Who you got nigga, bro?
Who haven't went yet? My
Ashley
goodness.
lost in translation.
Oh, Lost, come on, man. I gotta roll that beautiful bean footage.
Listen, I would rather be the safe place. And I'm gonna tell you why. The world has a history of not allowing the strong to have a safe place. And they've demonstrated to us that they don't check on the strong. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare that the world gives the strong an opportunity to have a safe space. Also, being the safe space comes with a certain level of responsibility as well too, because you have to make sure that you keep a mental note of what bothers that person and what doesn't bother that person. And you have to have the wherewithal to also give that person the latitude to be themselves, you know, and never bring it up again. It's one of those things where you have to keep track of it, but also have the responsibility to forget about it, you know? And not only that, the reason why I would rather be the safe space is because most people aren't trained on how to be the safe space, you know? Because most of the world, if you think about it, is selfish.
Right.
So they haven't been trained on how to forgive, how to give, how to listen, not to listen, you know, how to care, not to care. And most people really don't want to hear what you have to say. We hear it all the time on these spaces on podcasts. The reason why men go through it a lot is because they don't have a safe space for them to vent, you know, to be themselves, because they have to live up to this macho man. You know what I'm saying? They have to live up to the responsibility of being a man. And then at the same time, we had a question earlier this week, and I also answered it on my podcast the other day, of can you be vulnerable with your woman? And I thought about that. It's because most times guys don't have the confidence in their woman to listen to them without her judging them for being a man, or what should be a man, or what's not a man in the relationship. And I also had to question ourselves in that. Are you afraid of what she thinks, or are you afraid of how you're going to react to what she thinks? So to answer your question, I would rather be the safe space than for somebody to give me the safe space, because the world hasn't shown me or demonstrated that it can be that.
That's dope, bro. Jamie, did you want to say something before Ash goes?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, has anybody done it before? Has anybody done like the safe space thing before? Okay, so I'm just gonna give a little testimony. Now I did it, okay, and there was times where I would like wait till the person left and I'd be punching the pillow, because really, like, I felt like I created a safe place for them, but I created a monster in a sense, because I just let when I said they were able to say whatever, they were able to say whatever came to their mind, and that was okay. But it was a lot. And so like Lost was saying, it's a lot to manage. Okay, this is what this person said in this instance. I can't take it, and I cannot bring it up later on down the road, right? And so that's why I asked is like, has anybody really done it? And then how do you manage it? Because in the end, I snapped Junior. So like at the end of it, when all of it like came crashing down, I snapped because I didn't have a safe space. Like, so it wasn't a reciprocal safe place. It was like I was just ended up being the only person that was safe was them. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think if we're going to talk about that or even bring that up, we also have to give kind of like what does that look like, where somebody's not getting overwhelmed with somebody's stuff, you know, and sometimes men got a lot bottled up from even like past relationships because they never got to say anything. And then here you go trying to be a safe place. And hunty, listen, when I say at the end, you got all the foreigner, every last bit of like the Belize in me came out. Yeah, I thought it was a wrap, and I was happy with the way that I snapped. I was excited to get all of that out. So I just wanted to make sure, you know,
It
that
doesn't
we
sound like
don't.
you was a safe.
Huh?
How does you don't sound like you were safe. It sounded like you was ready to get active after you heard what
No,
you heard.
I wasn't safe. Like towards it in the beginning, you know how it starts off real good. You create the safe
Yeah,
place. They're able to tell you everything. Like I said, I wasn't safe. Towards the end, I was no longer safe. So then it's kind of like you are like an animal in a cage, and once you finally like you just unleash, right? And that's what happened. Like I'm talking about I unleashed good. Like it's not funny, but it is funny, but it's not because I can't take anything back that I said. Do you get what I'm saying? But I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't take it back. Because I didn't have a safe space to say what was really on my mind or to be heard or to even like be listened to. Does that make sense? So I was just really, I would say I was like, you could say creating a safe place could be the emotional dumping ground for somebody.
that's what it sounded like you created. You didn't create a safe talking space. You created a safe dumping ground. Because me, I am my best friend, several of them, safe space. Because some of the conversations I know that you can't have with somebody else because they don't have that dialect, that ongoing dialect. And sometimes that's what a man needs. It's that you know me and you know when I say this, you're not going to take this to heart. But what happened to you, Jamie? It just sounds like whoever got their hooks on your safe place, they just dumped because you didn't really set a boundaries. Like with me, I do set a boundary. Like some days I'm not talking on the phone. Some days you won't catch me on social media. Social media, I have a completely blackout because that's my depressed time. Like when my kids get home, I turn the phone off sometimes. Like when I'm late or I forget to show up on Monday, that's what I done because I can't hear that alarm because I done completely unplug. And it sounds like when you when you let this person in, they took full advantage. And then when I understand what you're saying, it's like whatever they said, you recall it and you snapping and but that's not really a safe place because you're regurgitating it.
No, no,
And
no, no. I didn't snap initially. I snapped in the end.
no,
So
I'm saying
like,
at the end. I'm saying at
yeah,
the end.
yeah,
I'm not saying
yeah.
in the mix of it. I'm just saying
Yeah,
it was
in the
like
mix of it, I was very understanding and very like, okay, well, we could work on that. But see, what happens is the person didn't really want to work on the stuff. It was just they were just saying it and they had no intentions on actually becoming better or taking inventory and making themselves better. So it was just kind of like
dump,
so it's just a dump
dump.
because and that's where it becomes what prototype was saying you could be taken advantage of because you're trying to create this safe space, letting them be vulnerable, letting them tell their truth, and then you're expecting, okay, we identified the problem, now how are we going to get to the solution? And a lot of times people don't even want to get to the solution, they just like being the victim.
I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say how you didn't know you ran across that. I'm the victim. You have to understand me. I'm the victim. It was done to me. I didn't do anything. It was me. It was done to
Right,
me. But that's what I'm
right.
saying. Like you have to be careful with that because when you deal with an actual man, it takes them a long time to open up about specific things because you're gonna get tested about specific things and they're gonna wait to see when you bring it back up. Like you
Yeah,
can tell
yeah.
somebody that's emotionally dumping when they just and you like, dude,
They
you
don't
don't
have a like what it
No,
sounds like is
it didn't happen like that. It happened over time. Huh?
you're right. So what it sounded like is that he
I
didn't
didn't.
really care about you as a person. Like what I mean by we talking about like one person said it's not a dumping ground or a punching bag. It's to let you know what's on my heart and what's on my mind. And that the safe space is there to let you know this is how I'm feeling, but it's also considerate of how you're feeling too, right? So it sounds like that there was a disconnect from what the person actually knew what you were doing. That Lost, did you wanted to say something before we transition, and then Sir
Yeah,
Hell
yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and let Sir Hill get his thought out the way
bet.
because I saw he had his finger up, but I'm gonna go after him. Go ahead, Sir Hill.
Yes, so just real quickly. So this is very important for every couple to understand. You cannot be their everything. So I know that we love to strengthen our relationships by being there. But there were some things that are for the pastor to do, some things that are for the brotherhood or sisterhood to do, some things for their therapist or coach to do, and then there's some things for you. I think what happens to so many people is that they want to be that person's everything, and you're taking on a load that you're not ready for. You can't handle that. You can't take that and still love them. Like, you can't have that information and detail about them and still love them the same way, because what was said in the confines of a safe space still has a real effect on your heart and emotions. So that's why I said, like, particularly ladies, you cannot, you have to first be mature and strong enough to be a safe space. Like, you don't, like, being a safe space is not how you say I love you. That's how you get your feelings hurt. Right. So it takes time to develop that strength to be that. And then you have to know your limits. If you know that certain things hit you a certain kind of way, you've got to refer them to someplace else, so you don't end up hating them for just being honest like you wanted them to be. So some things are for your pastor, some things are for your therapist, some things are for your brother or sisterhood, and then there are some things for you. You've got to know your limits.
Okay, that's what's up. Lost on you.
Yeah, I was going to reiterate what Sir Hale was saying. Being a safe space does require maturity. I'm going to tell you why. Because when somebody's telling you that you're not doing something that they expected you to do, oftentimes what we do is, in situations like that, we don't hear what they're saying and we deflect. And then we make it about ourselves. And it unloads the responsibility or the accountability back on the other person asking the question. So you have to be skilled in that, to take it and say, you know what, I didn't think about that. I apologize. I'll work on that. Matter of fact, help me to get where you need me to get to. That's a certain level of responsibility most people don't get to, because they have to learn how to remove the ego. And also what Sir Hale spoke to is about therapists. Man, let me tell you, the last time somebody asked me how I was doing for real and was able to get it out of me was my therapist when I was 18 years old, when my father died. That was the last time. And the way she did it was that she put everybody in the room and everybody got their chair and turned around. And now it was to the point where I was able to release, because I felt like I had to be the man of the house at 18 years old. And when I tell you, that was the best release I ever had in my life, and I promise you, I haven't had it since. That had to be taken care of in the hands of a professional who knew what they were doing. Think about it. Many times people come to you and they ask you how you're doing all the time. That's just, formality. That's just them being cordial. You know whether or not that person is asking you how you're doing because they followed up with really. How you doing? Really? You know what I mean? That's a different type of responsibility. That's a different type of care. That's somebody who's demonstrating whether or not whether or not you're okay for real, for real. We say that stuff in passing all the day. Hey, good morning to you. How you doing? Oh, I'm fine. Most men's common response is always, I'm fine. But nobody ever asks men, really. And I think that's the difference. That's the reason why I would rather be the safe space, because I understand the responsibility of that. And I also know how to set my ego aside and say, you know what, you're right. Help me to be what you need me to be. And most people aren't able to do that. They haven't reached that level of unselfishness yet.
Sound like you talking about being Christ-like.
Yeah.
Laying down, or picking up a cross. Right.
Great is he who laid down his life for a friend.
Absolutely. And so for me, I don't know, but I don't know why it is that I've always seemed to have been people's safe space. But I think that that's the place that allows me to grow personally. With Dwayne and Des, I talk to them a lot. You know, um, and they're typically giving me counsel and information on how I should make a decision, right? But when it's their time to speak, like I really appreciate that time, as well as with my wife and anybody that comes to me and talks to me, because what I know about my life is that I've had a lot of different scenarios take place in my life that I've had to overcome, and I've been given the ability to see other people's perspective and be able to provide them uh some type of counsel. Like, some people just want to vent, but then even in that safe space, that means you're giving me the opportunity to say something to you at some point, right? Hopefully. And as a result of you coming and talking to me, I can now assess what is it that I've read in the scriptures that I can actually help you through the scripture and be the voice of Christ, if you will. Right. So for me, I would definitely want to be the safe space. Even though I like to talk, I also like to be able to be the problem solver and the resolution to individuals' situations, right? And so at the same time, I'm able to put in practice and apply the things that I've read in the scripture, as well as be able to say, okay, they're dealing with this particular situation. What happens is if I come into this situation, that happened a lot when I started the Humble Dad podcast, when I was interviewing dads, and I really wasn't that good of a dad at the time. But once I started listening to these dads tell me about, what their view and their perspective of what a dad is, I was able to change my behavior, and my kids were able to be rewarded as a result, right? So it's the same thing here, on the channel where we're talking, and hopefully I've created a safe space for you all to be able to have your voice be heard. And because of you talking, I'm actually gaining more knowledge because your perspective is different than mine. And I'm able to, as arrogant as I am in some parts, there's a humility that I have as it relates to knowing that I don't know it all as it relates to marriage and relationships that I get from you all. And so I don't think we're going to be able to get to the last question because I like to honor time always, but I want everybody to know where they can find you. Ash, did you want to say something before we go?
Stop being a safe space. Be your own safe space. Dig out your own mind first. Let these people deal with their own problems. Like Sir Hill said, go to
Preach,
counselor, go to God,
preach,
go to the
friend.
pastor.
Say it loud.
Don't
Sir,
do it. Don't do it if you ain't
Sir
ready.
Hill didn't say that. Like,
Yes, you did.
I
You
don't know
said
where that came
go to
from,
the
Sir
pastor,
Hill.
go to the pastor, go. You said that
So
there's
those
other
were
qualified people, the counselor,
that
the
was aiding
pastor.
and being a safe space.
Oh, sir, don't take it back now. Look, now you can't backpedal. Now that's not what we do. We going forward, and our motion is to go forward.
So
No more safe space.
okay,
You're not
so
in a very safe space for me right now. I feel threatened.
so you know something, Humble Dad. Can I say this to you though? And
Yes, sir.
to lost in translation to Dwayne and Prototype as well to all the men. Like this is something people don't understand. When you are a safe space, like safety isn't in stone. Like you could reach your threshold and then you become unsafe, right? And it's important for ladies to understand this because if a man loves you, he takes a lot, and you won't see it until something major happens. And so it begs the question: who do safe spaces go to be safe? Like who can really deal with the weight of
That's
everything
all I'm
here?
saying. Thank you,
You know what
Sir
I'm saying?
Hale. That's what I'm trying to. That's all I was trying to say.
So
That's it.
so
That's
so I say this is in being somebody's safe space is two things to remember. If you're going to be a safe space, don't accept it to be reciprocal. Like this is something huge. You have to understand this because if like let's say like me and my bro we talk and he can come to me about everything. And then you know how you was there and you listen, and then it's your turn. You're like, I'm gonna go to him. He don't got the capacity. And if you're not careful, you'll be like, you know what? Screw you. You really ain't my brother. No, it's not that he's not your brother. Is that your capacity to handle stuff is different than his. You can compartmentalize and process anyway, and you have to stop trying to get somebody to pour into you when they're a sink. You're a faucet, right? Like, so you can't expect the sink to pour back into you. That's not the way that it was made. You got to respect that relationship, and you got to go find a tank, something to draw. I'm saying everybody has to find their safe space, and don't assume that because the person you gave it to is not giving it back to you, that they're not safe. The relationship has to be respected. If you're the faucet, you can't expect to have the same kind of a responsibility that the sink does. The relationship is different. And then the drain has a relationship.
Sorry.
Every safe space, you have to find yours so that you don't think that you get a bad wife because she can't pour into you like you poured into her. Or so you don't think that you don't have a brother because he can't pour into you, or a sister. Maybe they're not built to function for what you need, but it doesn't mean that they're not valuable and that they don't serve a purpose. And then the second thing is you have to make sure you go to God as well. So this is an important thing. Your intelligence, your intellect all have a peak. And when that peak runs out, you have to be able to go to God to make sense of the stuff that's going on in your heart. Because the strongest people, if you release to people, you'll crush people. Like Humble Dad, like I can tell, like you are a man of great magnanimity and strength. So you can take on a whole lot, but if you dumped what you really felt on somebody, it might scare them. So you gotta be like, look, hold on. I gotta, if I'm gonna tell you something, it's gonna be bits and pieces. I will not do it all at once. And the same thing with Prototype, the same thing with Lost in Translation and Dwayne. We carry so much weight that listen, you can't spot me. Like you know, you in the gym and everybody asking you to spot them, but everybody can't spot what you lifting. So I'm saying this, men, we have to make sure that we are around other men who are stronger than us in certain areas, so that they can spot us when we need to be spotted. When we no longer have enough energy to be safe for ourselves.
That's phenomenal, Proto. I heard you gonna say something. I need my board to act right.
So that's kind of where I was going with it. Like being a safe space comes from a position of power.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? A position of authority. Like you lightweight got to be better than the person that's, you know what I mean? Because you're a faucet, right? Or you got to be better than them, or a higher, on the hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? So it really makes it hard for men because you're already in leadership to your woman. You know what I'm saying? So yes, she could be, you could be her safe space, but when it goes back to her being a safe space for you, you have to be confident enough, competent enough to not really care if she might switch on you because of the stuff you're going to tell her. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you really let it loose on her, you really got to like, I don't care what she thinks about me anyway on the slide. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to kind of release that and get it the reverse way. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to be a safe space for a person who is looking up to you. I mean, it's hard for them to be a safe space for you because they're looking up to you. And the moment they see you're not like that, like Superman could be vulnerable to a woman, he could cry in front of a woman, but Clark Kent can't. If y'all understand what I'm saying.
You probably mean it the other way.
No.
You meant it like that?
Superman can cry because he's from such a position of power.
Oh,
She'll find that like, what? Superman cried in front of me. But if Clark Kent cried, it's a whole different conversation. Clark Kent can't cry, but Superman can.
That's a phenomenal take. I really appreciate y'all. I don't think y'all understand how much I do. Make sure y'all check out these people on every platform that they have. Dwayne Jones Photography, Lost in Translation podcast, Prototype on Tuesday nights. Lost in Translation, just plug it in. You'll find him for sure. Prototype is doing wonderful things on TikTok. They like him over there. Ash having her chronicles on I think it's on Facebook and Instagram, 360/Diva. Then you got Sir Hale doing this thing. He does a lot of things on Instagram. And I think YouTube for sure, like those little quotes of the day, those are really dope, Sir Hale. And also I appreciate his perspective because he comes from the angle of like a old school veteran with a comical twist with the seriousness that's in between those lines. So I appreciate that. And then you got Miss Jamie, you know what I mean? She just she's a bonfire for sure. You know, make sure you check out Jamie. It's me, Jamie. She's on TikTok, she's on Instagram, she's on YouTube. And she has a lot to offer to the table just as much as everybody else. Make sure you tune in to them. I did also want to say that it like a safe what I saw is that I can understand now why women have a hard time being a man's safe space, because it takes the Holy Spirit for them to be able to grasp the weight of what a man thinks. And this is his vulnerableness. And here's your protector having to be vulnerable to you. And at times, women will come back and use your vulnerability against you. So it's tough for them to accept it. And it's also tough for men to give it, knowing that there is an opportunity that if I'm being vulnerable, then you're going to see me in a negative way and you're going to use that against me. And then from the woman's perspective, I'm looking at him like Prototype said, here's the person that I look up to. And now he's seeming kind of weak. And so that's a turnoff for me. So I see that perspective and I understand it even better now. So once again, it's been a dope show. Do y'all think it was okay?
Oh yes.
So do y'all like the flow? Like I went to
I don't
school.
feel safe.
I think that's a you problem, not a us.
I won't be back. Sick of y'all.
No, you
Oh,
gotta
my
be.
bad.
You gotta be back though. You got really good insight. You know what I'm saying? All the
You
way.
know, I'm glad you said that, man, because it really puts the order of things in perspective, man. You know, as far as putting too much weight on your woman.
Yeah.
But here's my thing: men can always go to God.
Thanks.
They can always go to God because you can't outthink the Creator of all. You know what I'm saying? He said, "I'll never leave you nor forsake you." And when you're feeling down, when nobody else could give you that space, you can always go to God. He can't give out. You know what I'm saying? He's built for this. Yeah, he's built for this, man. So remember that. That's when you can't go nowhere else, you can always start with God.
Hey, tune in next week. Hey, it's gonna be another dope show. Appreciate y'all out there. Until next time, we out here. Deuces.
The boy is dangerous.
Bad feeling about this.
You don't seem to understand something.
The thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see them about to impact the world.